ISO might create a problem for Valorant. Sure, his design looks super cool and the ult will definitely be crazy and create a lot of fun moments, I'm sure, but I do think there might be a problem, and it's not that he's going to be overpowered. In fact, a lot of the top pros in the game already don't think that ISO will be that great at the highest levels of the game.
I don't think in pro play it's going to matter as much because this agent doesn't replace as many agents as you will think.
Lotus is... I don't actually think he's that viable in a lot of map stream. I'm not going to lie. He looks quite fun, though. I think he's a ranked agent. He's for you lot. He's for you, plebs.
But as Boaster said there, ISO probably will be a decent option for ranked games, and that is where I think the problem might come in. Valorant design recently has shifted to a format of bringing out agents who can somewhat challenge other agents in a design space. We saw this with agents like Fade coming out to challenge Sova, who at the time was the only pure recon initiator. We saw it with Harbor challenging Viper as the only wall smoker at the time. And most recently we saw it with Deadlock, who came out to challenge Sage's design space as a barrier sentinel. But now ISO is here and he's challenging an agent that also is seen as good for ranked, but not for pro play, whose design is also about getting stronger after you get kills, who is one of the most hated agents in the entire game. I am, of course, talking about Reyna. Now, Reyna has been a problem in Valorant for a while, particularly at the lower ranks, where if someone is smurfing, Reyna will often be the agent of choice because she's easy and simple to play, and if you are just better at aiming than your opponents, then you can easily hard carry your team playing Reyna. Now with ISO, this problem probably isn't quite as big. His utility isn't as greedy and self-serving as Reyna's, so it probably won't quite be on the same level. However, the problem for me might come when you combine the two. We have already seen this kind of thing in this year's VCT, where just because Harbor came out as a wall smoker similar to Viper, that doesn't mean you can't play them together. In fact, by playing them together, you can essentially smoke off an entire map if you want to. And this was seen throughout pro play this year to create some ludicrous looking moments.
Oh, and all of a sudden numbers their way.
Great cascade to scale with. Oh, but he takes too much. 14 seconds.
0 for 9, as you said. Can the 10 time be the charm? Yes, it can!
And my worry is that essentially in ranked, where duelists tend to get picked quite often, that ISO will be a popular pick, and then when combined with Reyna, it will be like the Power Rangers uniting as one, creating this absolute demon you don't want to face. And this might end up just being too much. Now this won't be a problem at the highest ranks, of course, but particularly for those lower ranks where smurfing perhaps is more prevalent in general, it can be a bit of a problem, and it might be very unfun to play against if you feel like you've just got these two people who you just can't kill. Of course, we'll have to wait to see how ISO actually does and whether he's good enough even to get picked at all. But I would not be surprised in the slightest if, a couple weeks into his release, people at the lower ranks start complaining about the ISO and Reyna duo in their game that combined for 60 kills and made everything hell. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are we about to see an absolute wave of duo smurf queues in lower ranks that just ruin the game for everyone? Or do you think that ISO probably isn't good enough to get played anyway, and we'll just have to deal with Reyna's like we always have?